What's up, guys? I want to show you the bike that we're building for Operation Combat Bikesaver. Thanks so much to everybody that's donated so far. I'm going to show you the bike today and go over a little bit of what needs to be done so that we can get the most money for such a great charity. So this is it. It's a 1982 Cb900f. Really an iconic bike. I love these bikes so much. It's really the only ones I work on. It's a 79. The bikes I work on are typically 79 to 83 CBF model bikes. Now, this one is pretty special, and there's a lot of cool things on here that are going to stay with it, and that's why I chose this bike. It already runs great, and I figured take an iconic bike that already runs good, and then just do a mostly cosmetic restoration. But of course we gotta go through brakes and some other things too. So some of the cool stuff on this bike that's going to stay is the number one, the factory sport kit. So the sport kit was a factory option that you could purchase. They're extremely rare and hard to find. The Continental Sport Kit contained a different set of handlebars and a different set of foot pegs and mounting brackets. So it moved your feet a little bit back, it dropped the handlebars down, and then along with that actually came a new switch housing here that rerouted your throttle cables. Since your bars were lower, then they took up that extra space. So again, the handlebars, controls, foot pegs, that made up that Continental Sport Kit, and that's going to stay with this bike. I'm gonna restore them, make them look new again. Obviously there's a lot that has to happen on this bike before it's worth good money. So I'm gonna go through some of that now, actually, so you can get an idea of what we're raising money for and how the money's going to be spent in order to turn around and auction this off for the most that we can get. So number one, while I like the upgrades, the aftermarket upgrades, they don't typically bring the most at auction. So we got to get it back to factory, which means this 4-into-1 exhaust should probably go. I restored this exhaust the best I could when I first got this bike a couple of years ago. It's a Russ Collins 4-into-1, and it was really rusted out. You can see in the pictures that I've been using of when I first got it how rusty it was. And but while it's a cool exhaust, it's not going to help bring value. So I want to switch this out with a Marvin exhaust. Marvin makes the closest factory reproduction you can get, but it's about $700 shipped from Italy, so it's going to take some money to get here. These carburetors, while they're very cool Mikuni carburetors, they are not the factory carburetors. So we need to do a full restoration on an original set of carburetors and put the original airbox back in. So that's going to be a few $100. I'm going to go ahead and do that myself, but the kits cost money. I actually have a set of 900 carbs here that we can use in an airbox, so that's great. But just the kits to replace all the rubber inside those carburetors cost money. The paint on this is clearly not original. Now the good looking paint back here, while it does look pretty good, it is not right. So I painted this color because I was going to do it for me, but now we need to turn it back into a factory bike, and so it needs to be black, and it needs a factory kit. The decal kits for these cost about $200, and that's what we need to put the red and orange stripes back on it, the Cb900 logo on the side panels, and so on. It needs definitely needs a new brake reservoir. This master cylinder up here for the front brake is in bad shape. It's pretty much like this when I bought it. I cleaned it out and made it usable, but it's not in good health here. So got to get a new one of those. Those are probably, well, we'll see. You know, they don't make this stuff anymore. There's a couple decent reproductions, so not sure how much it's going to cost. Probably somewhere around 75 or so. The gauge cluster is pretty good, but you can see there's a broken needle, so I'm gonna have to pull the gauge cluster apart and clean it out real good, and then replace that needle or replace the whole gauge. That's gonna cost a few bucks. The seat cover I actually already did on this, and I do have the strap that's supposed to go across there, so I'll be able to put that on. I forget what the seat cover costs, so I put that on shortly after I got the bike. The motor is in great shape, it runs good, but it's definitely got some issues. And so these if they're too deep, which they feel like they are, these covers have to be replaced and then polished out like the originals were. The whole paint, whole motor needs to be repainted. The cam cover needs to be taken off and cleaned up. That black is not supposed to be black. These are supposed to be chrome, and so we'll sort all of that. Center cap here. So we have to detail the engine and get it back to original, which is going to cost some money. These side covers are probably going to cost some money. Again, you know, this stuff, they don't make this stuff anymore, so you got to find guys that have it and you know, see what they'll sell it for. Same thing on this side. This cover's got some scratches here on the bottom that we need to address, either sand them out or potentially replace, and then make that look like new again. It's going to need a new chain. It's definitely going to need new shocks. These are cheap eBay shocks that were on it when I bought the bike. They're definitely not going to help bring value to it, so they need to go. Really like to replace them with as close to factory as I can get. The factory shocks are not rebuildable, so they're pretty hard to get. They do, YSS makes a really good shock, but you know, shocks for this thing can go anywhere from $200 to $1,000. You know, we could put a really nice set of Ohlins on there that might add some value, or you know, a set of YSS shocks, but definitely going to cost money. The wheels are pretty good. It's probably going to need new tires. Tires are going to run 300 bucks. This front tire, or the front wheel actually, needs to be redone. It's got some scratches in it that need to be cleaned up, and somebody polished the lip here. This is supposed to be black on the inside, and then it was silver here, more like the back wheel. So I'm gonna spend some time cleaning that up. Like to do the brake rebuild kits. They're not too expensive, but I'll probably have 50 bucks or so in brake rebuild kits for the front and back. Master cylinder. This master cylinder, these things are notorious for seizing up. This one actually does work, and this bike, I just took it for a ride actually before I did this video. So it runs, but I need to clean that master cylinder out. It was sticking a little bit, so the kit for that I think is $30 or so. So anyway, I just wanted to give a rundown, show you the bike that we're working with. It's a great bike. One of the other upgrades is probably going to stay. I don't know if I can get it in the video, but this bike actually has a Dyna S ignition with Dyna coils, and you know, no reason to take those off. I mean, granted they're not factory, but it's a period correct upgrade and they work. And so I think I'd rather leave the Dyna S pickups and the Dyna coils on there and just clean them up than take them off. But hopefully that gives you a good rundown. Sorry for the long video. Been meaning to do this video for a while, and you know, show you everything that we're trying to raise money for. And you know, we set the goal at $3,000. I think that'll cover it. And you know, the goal is to take that $3,000 and turn it into 5 or 6 by making just a beautiful classic Cb900f. These things are rare. They were only sold in the US from 1981 to 1982, and then they were replaced with the Cb11. So, great bike. I think it's going to bring good money at auction. And, while we could probably raise $3,000 and give it to Operation Combat Bikesaver, I thought, it's going to be way more fun to raise $3,000, put it into a motorcycle, and, double our money, and then give that to them. So it's going to be a fun project, and I'm really going to enjoy taking it to them so they can see it, and then dropping it off at Iconic, where they will be auctioning it off. So stay tuned. I'll post updates as we go. And again, I appreciate your support. We need, I think we have about $380 raised for Ice Mortgage Technology employees. Any money from them will be doubled. They will be matched by IMT Cares. And so my fellow coworkers, if you'd like to donate, I greatly appreciate it. And again, IMT Cares is going to match your donations. So thank you very much. And stay tuned. Talk soon.